Hey friends, I know, who is this? Oh my goodness. It's been a while. I think like February or March was the last time that I got on here and talked about my knitting. So I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. So let's just jump right into it. I will explain a lot of the life things at the end, but I have finished objects I want to show and I have so many knitting plans. Yeah. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Real Knitting Podcast. I'm Jennifer. We try to keep things really real here. Sometimes you'll see my little boy running through, or we talk about ADHD. We just talk about life sometimes. So welcome, glad you're here. And I'm going to start with my epos. So I finished, I don't know if you guys remember, this was a hand-dyed yarn that I picked up. And I think I bought it directly from the designer at what I call the yarn yard sale over in North Carolina. And I'm wearing them. They're so pretty. Yeah. So it's this beautiful, like self-striping-ish micro dyed. I don't know, but it's beautiful. It may have been dyed with Kool-Aid. It kind of looks like some of those Kool-Aid dyed things. But I made these socks and I thought I'd finish them, and because I wasn't paying attention, they were only about this long. So they've been sitting in my bedroom by my nightstand, just waiting for me to actually take care of them. So if you don't know how to fix your socks, here's how. All I did was snipped the end and unraveled down past the point of the decreases. And then I picked up all of those stitches, just one at a time, because it is like a woolly wool. They just stand there and wait for you to pick them up like little happy little soldiers. Anyway, so I picked them all up and just began again, just as though I was finishing the sock. So I'm really happy. These are a little bit big on me. I used a size 1 needle and I think I did 72 stitches, and that's just really too big. And they're a little bit loose, even like a little bit too long. But I'm not complaining because I sleep in them and they're so cozy. And I listened to on audiobook this thing called Why We Sleep. You can get it on Libby. If you have the Libby app, you can get it like through your library. It's called Why We Sleep. And he was talking about one of the things is just keeping your feet warm will help your body temperature cool down so that you sleep better. So I started trying it. I think I am sleeping a little bit better. Before I forget what I'm wearing, this is the Barley hat by Tin Can Knits. This one is actually one, my hair. This is actually one I made for my little boys. So it's a little bit smaller than what I would typically wear. But I've switched shampoos, you guys, and my hair just always looks greasy. So I've got to figure that out. Got to figure out what's going on with the hair thing, because I'm not happy about it. If you have like wavy to curly hair, let me know what shampoo you use down below, because I'm on the hunt. I gotta find the right thing. Anyway, I'm not real pleased with it, but it's a beautiful day for a little bit of a hat. But the Barley is a very simple pattern. It's one of the ones I learned how to knit on. If you're not familiar with Tin Can Knits, hang on just a second, let's move you up a little. Maybe just the hair. Okay, I had to move you up a little bit. If you're not familiar with Tin Can Knits, they are the best beginning knitting patterns. So they've got like a series that walks you through just a scarf, and then I think is a cowl to learn to work in the round, and then hats, and it's really easy. Also, they have, if you've been watching Grocery Girls, they were talking about the Tin Can Knits app, and I just downloaded it, and I haven't even connected it to my Ravelry store yet, but it looks so cool. So any of their patterns, you can get on there and it will only show you your size. I don't know. Go to your app store, see what you think. Okay. Tin Can Knits, Barley Hat, new app. Yes, more finished objects. So I finished the blue socks. I don't know the yarn. I think it was just somebody like trying it in her kitchen, but I really liked it. So there they are. This is the best story. If you've been around, you may remember this gorgeous striped Halloween looking yarn. And I never did find out who dyed this. I would really love to know if you know who it was. I picked this up back in the spring, or I guess it's like late winter, at the South Carolina Knit In, and it was on the free table, and you know, sock yarn. And I love Halloween. So there it is with all its beautiful glory. If you know who it is, please let me know. But funny story about these socks. So I was sort of organizing and straightening up my knitting things a couple of days ago, and I think it was actually on Halloween, and I opened a project bag and I saw this yarn and I thought, oh yeah, I remember those socks. I wonder how far I got on them, but I didn't have a lot of time right then, so I just zipped them up and put them away again. And so as I was starting to get to the end of my other sock project, I thought I'll get out those Halloween ones and just see how much more I have to do. I might be able to finish them and wear them this fall. Y'all, your girl had 2 complete socks. 2 finished objects. Okay, maybe 1. But I totally forgot about them. I forgot they existed. This is ADHD. Out of sight, out of mind. Why I did not take them out, like ends woven in and everything. Why I didn't take them out of the bag and put them in my drawer, I have no idea. But there you have it. There you have it. My husband was very concerned. He thought that I forgot like from one day to the next. He didn't realize it had been months since I'd knitted on them, but still. Am I the only one? Is this just mom brain? I don't know. Okay, so these are my typical top-down vanilla sock recipe. And I just did, what did I do here? Yeah, I just did a simple heel stitch. So you do heel flap and gusset. You knit down however long you want your leg. Then you do your heel flap, turn the little gusset, and then turn the little, it's just called a heel turn. And then you start doing your gussets to make it go smaller again. And then I just do a very simple toe. I've been wearing them, so there's like things. Anyway, just a very simple decrease toe. But I've been loving these. They fit better than the blue ones. Yeah, and just gorgeous colors. And I'm going to wear them at least through the month of November, possibly year round, because they make me happy. And I love Halloween. Okay. But the ones that kind of prompted me to find those suckers are these right here. And oh my goodness, I'm in love with these socks. Look at all that. Yes, color work-ish. But it's self-striping. This is Patons Kroy in their Jacquard style. And the color is Cameo. I'll get that a little closer so you can see all the detail. But look, it's so pretty. And again, it's my simple vanilla sock recipe that I got from, oh, shoot, she's so funny. I've talked about her before. She's Canadian. She writes books, and she's really, really funny. And I can't remember her name. again, if you know, let me know in the comments. But just a 2x2 rib at the top, straight stockinette, because that's all you need with these kind of yarns. And then a heel stitch on heel flap and gusset. Very simple toe. Now these fit me really well. These I did on a size 1, and I used my Knit Picks 5-inch DPN set in the rainbow colorway. There we go. Weird light stuff. In the rainbow colorway. And I love these because they are beautiful, but I have really strong hands and I've really struggled with breaking them. So I broke one, but thankfully I had multiples, so I was still able to knit with them. Yeah, this is why you may know I'm obsessed with Carbon's needles for my DPNs, because these suckers just, any wooden ones, I just have such strong hands that they break. But here's the ball band, Patons Kroy sock in the Jacquards, and I've linked everything down below. So these fit me really, really well. 64 stitches on this one because I used the size 1. I've started to embrace size 1 socks instead of size 0 socks. Just because they knit up so much faster. I think I did these, I don't know, maybe a week. And that's not like I don't have a lot of knitting time, but so there's those. And I'm storing it in this amazing leather yarn bag. So I don't know the designer. I don't know who made it. But I got it at the South Carolina Knit In, and it is hand marbled leather. You can see in there, and it's got the little hole for your yarn to go through. It's really just the right size for socks. I wouldn't put anything bigger in it, but it's gorgeous. And every time I go out with it, I get compliments on it. So, all right, those are my finished socks, but I finally finished my Wallaby sweater. You guys, I worked on this. It seems like I worked on this forever, but that's because I was trying to knit it whenever I was at church, and then I wasn't able to sit down much this summer, so I didn't get any knitting done. So it seemed like forever. It probably wasn't that bad. This is the wonderful Wallaby, which is a pattern that was printed back in the 80s, but is still absolutely relevant today because it's a hoodie. We all love hoodies. I don't think they called them hoodies back in the day. But anyway, it's a hoodie. And I knit it out of Noro Kakigori yarn. And now typically Noro is not my thing, right? Noro is very vibrant. It's lots of pattern and color and lots going on. But this one like from afar, it kind of just reads navy. But if you look real close, you can see all those beautiful little neps of pinks and yellows and turquoise and blue. And it's kind of like starry sky looking. I did not notice that with my white t-shirt underneath, you can really see that it's a raglan. It is a bottom up raglan. It's got a sweet little hood, which I never pull up, but I could. It's a little bit pointy on the top for me, but I think that's kind of in style now. Whatever. So there we go. There's the little hood. I actually I wanted a more fitted sleeve. So I did make much smaller sleeves than the pattern requires. And I realized I think somehow I made the yoke shorter. And so there's not a whole lot. See, it's got this little crossover and you're supposed to put a button right there. But I don't know if I will or not because that brings it up awfully close to my neck. So I don't know that I would ever button it. But I might get one just just for pretties. We'll see. And then this amazing kangaroo pocket. Oh, I modified. I put a split hem in it. And then it does come with this amazing kangaroo pocket. And look at how smooth that is. The join, like you see nothing. And it's even just beautiful right down through here. So a couple of modifications I made to the pattern. This is a cotton, so it's not nearly as hot. So this is a great one for spring and fall. I don't need it while I'm inside right now, but I wore it. I've worn it like every day since I finished it. So beautiful Wallaby sweater. And again, I've linked below about that. Okay. So I do have a couple of works in progress. And here's my first one. Hang on. Got to move some gorgeousness. Okay. I have been wanting to knit. Have you guys seen the Granny stripe blanket? And let's see, I wrote that down. Who did that? No, I didn't write it down. But it's a free download on Ravelry. And I see a lot of podcasters using up their knitting scraps that way. And so I've been wanting to learn to crochet. I don't crochet. My sister crochets great. But I always make, like, instead of going straight, it always ends up being like this weird shape. Basically, I don't know what I'm doing. So I got on YouTube, and look what I've made, you guys. Look at how stinking cute these are. So I have this absolute love affair with granny squares. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But look at how sweet. How adorable. I love granny squares, y'all. And look how vintagey. I mean, these are the colors of my childhood. You know, like when I was a kid, this would have been mustard and avocado green. We actually had, growing up, we actually had, our stove was this color, the mustard, and our refrigerator was avocado green. Now, eventually mom and dad like upgraded. They got the cool sleek looking ones, and now they have fancy ones. But I do have fond memories of these colors. So what these are, I followed a tutorial on YouTube, as one does, by Erica Arndt, and it's about making the crocheted granny squares. And she talks about, she's got one about making them, and then one about blocking them, and then the next one is about making a bag out of them, and she shows you how to connect them. So I haven't done that. I've just made these because this was literally, y'all, this was yesterday. 3 brand new craft to me yesterday. So I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. I would love to say I'm going to make a blanket, but I only used leftovers. Okay. Kraemer yarns. I know you've heard me talk about them before. I love them. So this is like a 30% wool, 70% acrylic. It's the Kraemer Perfection Worsted. And I love their yarns. These are like a high quality acrylic. And so I've used these for things for my kids. But Kraemer yarns, they're wonderful. But it's just a worsted, and I used a Boye, B-O-Y-E crochet hook, and this is an H or an 8 or a 5mm. Just, you know, cheapy I picked up at Walmart. But I do have to show off this basket. And I tried to find, because I would love to buy another one of these baskets. And she's got a wooden bottom, and it's beautiful. And I've had it for years. My mom got it for me, and I tried to look this up. It's Jim and Nancy's Handmade Baskets. I did not find them, but if you are interested, you can find them online. They're in Jacksboro, Tennessee. I don't even know where that is. But this basket is gorgeous. So I'm just carrying it around on my arm like Little Red Riding Hood. and doing my little crochet. So yeah. Oh, and my inspiration for doing the crochet, besides the blanket, was on the Naughty Knitwits podcast. And if you don't know them, go check them out. I've linked them. I think it was Michelle, was talking about the Grannies in a Row socks by Jacquard. And I'll pop a picture in about those. And I just had a fit over them. Will I actually make them? I have no idea. Would I actually wear them? Maybe. I don't know. But they're just too cute. Too cute. They have the little granny crochet squares, the tiny little ones around the sides. So, yeah, madly in love. Oh, I forgot to say my colors are Chirp and Spring Rhyme and Snowflake of the Kraemer. Yeah. My only other whip that I have, of course I have my portage sweater, which is a gray, but it's like a tedious stitch, and I haven't picked that up in forever. But the other one that I kind of rediscovered, and I hadn't forgotten about it, I just haven't wanted to work on it because, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, is my Northeasterly blanket, and yeah, it's totally like a mess here, but Northeasterly by Skane something. I should know her. I'm friends with her on Instagram, as we all are. Anyway, I'll put the designer down in the comments. But it's supposed to be a blanket out of all of your scrap sock yarn. Wow, I've got a mess here. Okay. Yeah, so it's a blanket out of all of your scrap sock yarn so that you can like remember all of your scraps. Look how beautiful. I love the chevrons. It's so fun. And you can use like even just very small amounts, just little bits of yarn, or, you know, like that. I think that's like a 10-gram mini there. So all the little bits, all the mismatched pieces, and put them into a blanket. But I haven't really wanted to work on it because I'm kind of afraid that such a thin blanket would get torn up at my house, because I have kids. Our dog passed away, so we don't have Sweet Roxy anymore, and I don't have inside cats anymore, but we are hoping to get another dog when we move. Hopefully we're going to move to the farm at some point. But I love the idea of just total scrappy whatevers all going together. But here's my thought. If I don't make it into a full blanket, would it be a cute scarf? Shawl? I mean, you know, you can make it like any length, any whatever. I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you made a fingering weight shawl? I mean, not a shawl. I've made those. Have you made a fingering weight blanket, and has it held up? Has it survived your children and your pets? Or, you know, I guess I could make it and just keep it away from my children and my pets. But honestly, I still have a toddler and nothing is sacred. He gets into everything. So I don't know. But check out that chevron, y'all. Yeah. So I found this again, and now I have a plan. Sort of. I have a plan to add to it, is my only plan. Because, you know, the more socks I do, the more sock scraps I have, the more I want to put them in a thing. So what do you think? Should I continue with the Northeasterly? Should I just make it into a shawl and call it a day? Should I make it a blanket? Or should I totally rip it out and make the granny stripe blanket instead? I don't know. That's a lot of knitting to rip out. And a lot of, she shows you how to weave in the ends as you go. So it's not a lot of end weaving, but I don't know. So So those are my whips. But now that it's getting cool and I can wear all the knitting things and I'm actually sitting down, I'm not at the farm 24 hours a day, I've got so many knitting plans. I want to knit all of the things. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with, we'll start with this because it's right here beside me and I already sneak peeked it. Look at these skeins, y'all. Okay, this is Kristen's Fiber Studio, and she's on Etsy, but she's currently on a break, but I went ahead and linked her anyway. This is her DK, and the colorway is Paisley. You guys, look at all of that color. The deep, rich greens, and then these crazy, you know that's my color. These crazy, gorgeous teal pops on this neutral base. I have no idea how this is going to knit up, but I cannot wait to see. So I'm really excited about this. I've got 6 skeins of 246 yards. So it can't be like a portage. It can't be like a huge, big sweater. But I might even make a short sleeve sweater. I don't know. I'm debating. I've looked at like the Calliope. I've looked at several sort of simple sweaters because there is quite a lot going on and I'm going to have to alternate skeins and all that kind of jazz. I don't know. What sweater would you make out of these? Whatever it is going to be glorious because it's all the squish. And look at this very intense color just right there. Love it. Love it. Yeah, let me know if you have a favorite, like a go-to sweater pattern. I'm kind of leaning toward cardigan. I don't know, but I've only got 6 skeins, so let me know if you've got a 6 skein DK little sweater that you love. Okay. I want to cast on something with that, but I don't have a pattern in mind. But this pile of things right here, so this is in my gorgeous mason jar bag made by Kay at Bead Sisters, and she's got a podcast. I'll have to link below for her too. But I love, this is so East Tennessee, y'all. I love the mason jars. But this massive mason jar bag is holding a lot of things that I think might go together for like a marled sweater. And I've looked at the City Lights, the City Lights sweater, and it's made with like fingering held together. And I want to put a bunch of different things for a marled look. And so here we go. Let's see. I'll show you the ones that I don't know what they are first, because most of these, so all of these went into my Joji Locatelli fading point, and I did not make a Ravelry page for it, so I don't know what they are. I know this one was like Rusty Nail or something like that. But they're gorgeous. I don't know what they are, but they're beautiful. And then I've got this beauty with all the little speckles. And then this one, I started knitting a sock on 9-inch circulars, and I just don't like it. I don't care for, I don't know. I want to use this yarn in something else, for one thing, even though it's got like a little bit of a self-striping thing going on. This is called Tinsel Town or something like that. But I really did not like knitting it on the little circs. And so, I don't know. But that has all kinds of fun little speckles and colors in there. Then I have some things that may go with it. I don't know. This is Bad Sheep. And I I don't see a name on it, but it's superwash merino nylon. Let's see if we can get the color there. Isn't that gorgeous? I'd love to have a sweater out of this. That may have to be a sweater at some point, but I only have the one skein, so it's gonna go in with these others. And then just a couple other things I kind of threw in here. This is Pandora's Yarn Jewel. It's like a rose gold. Isn't that beautiful? There we go. Yeah, rose gold kind of color. This one is Plymouth Yarn Happy Feet. And it's color 120. But it's got like greens and gray, purpley blue. And then I have just a solid, this is Pandora's Yarn again. The Kate is what it's called. I don't know if that's a natural or if they dyed it that color, but it's like a pretty ivory color. And then one more, Rock and String Creations. And this one is called, it's the Jitterbug Sport in the color Urban Oasis. And it's got those greens and purples in there on a gray base. And then I have, like, I've got nearly a sweater's quantity of a off-white mohair. So I'm wondering if maybe I need to hold that and like blend it all together. I don't know. Am I crazy? Is this too much? Is this too bizarre? I don't think I would put all of them together, but yeah, I want to use them all, or a good portion of them all together again, because these four guys were beautiful. Just something to think about. I don't know. Maybe I am crazy, but I want this to be some sort of sweater. I don't know if I want it to be a fingering weight sweater or like held together or with mohair to soften it and tone it all down. I don't know, but something will happen with this. Okay, because I already put it in the project bag together. You can't let such a pretty project bag just sit around, can you? Okay, another cool project bag is the Stitcher. My friend Ashley gave me this one. I don't remember who made it, but it is in one of my episodes because I'm getting ready to cast on these socks. I told you I finished those other ones. So this time I'm going back to my carbons because I did break the Knit Picks ones. I don't have any Christmas socks. I've never knit Christmas socks. I've never knit with West Yorkshire spinners, but of course it's something that you hear about on a lot of the podcasts. This is the color Holly Berry. And look at all those greens and reds. So I'm excited about that. And I'll cast these on. I might even cast them on today. We'll see how today goes. It's a Friday and I think my husband's gonna go to the ball game tonight. So it'll be just me and the kiddos. I don't know. We'll see what I get to. Okay. Oh. I think this is my last one. Yeah. Okay. This is my last one of my knitting plans here. I'm so excited. So yesterday, I finally got back to my local knitting shop, Yarntiques in Johnson City. And my friend Terry was there and I was showing my socks and they were talking about how I knit on such small needles. And she said, Jennifer, you need this book. Somebody gave it to me. I don't knit with such small needles. It's not really my thing. And so she gave me this book, Mouche and Friends, by Cinthia Vallet. And this is Seamless Toys to Knit and Love. And I had been thinking about knitting some little softy, some little stuffy for my boys. And so I got so excited. And I brought it home and I let my buddies pick out which one that they want. So I'll show you these. This little bear is my 3-year-old wants this. My John wants this one. That is Tino the bear. And he does come with patterns for his little sweater, his little pants, and this messenger bag. Is that not adorable? So John wants Tino the bear. And James said he wants the cat, the kitty cat. And his name is Giorgio. Look at Giorgio in his little colorwork sweater. And he also has a little messenger bag and some sweet little pants. And John didn't say a color, but James wants his cat to be black. Now these are done in fingering weight on size 0 needles. So I went through my stash first, and I think I found this, and I've got enough of it. Patons Kroy socks in flax. So that's going to be John's little bear color. And then I ran by Michael's today and found, again, Patons Kroy socks in Gentry Gray, which is just this really dark, not quite black, but almost. So I think James will be happy with that, but I didn't want to get like a true black anyway. I've ordered the little safety eyes for them, so I'm kind of waiting until they come, but I got those on Amazon and they're going to come tomorrow. Crazy world we live in. Okay, so this is the one that I was really hoping that one of my boys would pick, and honestly, I may have to make it for myself because this is Horatio. Horatio is a donkey, and he has overalls. He has overalls. So, I may have to make myself a Horatio, or if I think that these guys are all the same color, the same size, which I've not really read through enough to be able to tell. They all have individual patterns. It's not like, here's how you do the body for all of these. They each have the full pattern. But if they have interchangeable clothing, I have to make the overalls. Oh my goodness. I'll show you again because I can't stand it. They're so cute. And I wear overalls at the farm all the time. So, I'm super excited about this book. Thank you, Miss Terry. And, yeah, new book, new yarn. So excited. Okay, so thank you for staying around this long. If you would like to hear a little bit about life stuff and the future of the podcast, stick around. Yeah. So, I've not been knitting much, which is why I feel like I haven't been knitting much, which is why I haven't been podcasting. And the reason I haven't been knitting much is, well, one, I don't like to knit when my hands are sweaty. And, but the big reason is because we started farming this year. I made this announcement the last time I podcasted and then just like fell off the earth when it comes to knitting. I hadn't been to my yarn shop. I hadn't hung out with a lot of my yarn friends. The only thing I did was I did go to retreat. And I'll tell you about that next time, but I felt like I had so much going on this time that I didn't want to slam it all together. But, yeah, so we opened a flower farm, Harvey Family Farm in Johnson City, Tennessee. I do not live on the property. And that makes it way harder, but I learned so much. And y'all, I got to work outside all spring, summer, fall. Like, we're still putting the farm to bed, but things have slowed down quite a bit. So out come the needles, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And then we've had some big stuff happen since I talked to you. My father-in-law passed away. He got really sick, and so there was a lot that went on with that. And then my 8-year-old broke both his arms. He jumped off a swing at school and broke all 4 of the little bones in his wrists. So for the last month, he's been in 2 casts. For 3 or 4 weeks. He had a cast all the way up to his armpit, and his elbow was locked in place. And so, like robot arms, and he couldn't do anything for himself. He couldn't feed himself. you can imagine all the other things he couldn't do. And so we were really happy. About 2 weeks ago, he went into shorter casts. We were hoping yesterday to get those casts off, but he's such a wild little thing. He's so busy that to put him in a splint, we were just afraid that it was not going to allow it to heal right. So I still have an 8-year-old with double hand casts, just below his elbows, thankfully. So that has taken up a lot of my time, because basically every time he had to go to the bathroom, I ran to the school. Fortunately, the school he goes to is only like 5 minutes from us, but still, every time. One day they called me 4 times. The last time was like 2:30 and I was picking him up at 3, and I said, no, he can hold it. I'll be there in a little while. And he was fine. He just realized, like kids do, like he just realized that he could get out of class and go, and yeah. So, but he's not had any pain, so he's done really well. Happy about that. The other thing that's taken up a lot of my time is that I am on a new diet. I've always had a lot of allergy problems, environmental allergies. And when I started farming, even though I love every minute out there in the field, the allergens really got to me. And so I finally gave up, and I went to an Ayurvedic doctor that I had been to before years ago. I have to go to Asheville to see him, but he fixed me and my allergies once upon a time. If you are in this area and you're interested in going, if you're interested in going truly alternative medicine, message me or comment below and I'll let you know all of his info, because he has healed me. My allergies are nearly gone. But so now, in addition to gluten, I can't be on gluten anyway, and then black pepper, I'm very allergic to black pepper, and citrus. And then he added in no dairy and no refined sugars, which doesn't really sound like too big of a deal, but y'all, sugar is in everything. Everything. So no fake sugars, no cane sugar, no coconut sugar. I can have a little bit of maple syrup, a little bit of honey, or a little bit of stevia, and that is it. And so it just cut out 90% of processed foods, which is a great thing. I had gotten into some really bad habits, but that means that I have to cook all the time. It's starting to get old. There for a while, it was kind of exciting. It was like back to my roots kind of stuff. I'm getting kind of tired of it, but that is another reason I haven't really been knitting a whole lot. So we've had a lot of stuff going on, but I am so happy to be knitting again. And I love being able to share what I'm knitting, what's going on, and talk about some amazing dyers and pattern writers and all the things. So what's coming up with the podcast? I've been talking to my friend Mel. Technically her name's Melissa. Most people call her Melissa, but I've known her long enough that back then she was going by Mel. Anyway, she went to retreat with me this year finally, and she's been knitting forever, and she wants to be on the podcast with me. So hopefully next time it's not going to be just Jen, it's going to be Jen and Mel, and she's going to have all kinds of things to show you. She has a very different way of going about her knitting. Like, she likes one project at a time, whereas I'm like all the projects all the time. So a little bit different perspective. And she and I will talk about retreat. We went to the naughty, what do they call it? The Naughty Ladies Retreat over in Black Mountain, North Carolina. And I got some new stuff. She got some new stuff. We learned some new skills. So I'll have her bring any of her retreat stuff and talk about that next time. But I'm just so happy to be back. So thank you all so much. Love you. Enjoy your knitting. Bye.